Hello guys and welcome to the Southbaygamers Battle Report. Today we have Ynnari going against some Steel Legion. This is only a 1400 battle report because I do have some stuff being painted up, so hopefully we'll get a bigger Steel Legion army coming soon. With that said, let's go over the Ynnari. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Alright, this is my 1400 points of Ynnari. My Warlord is my Farseer on Skyrunner. He knows Guide, Doom, and Smite. He also has a Singing Spear.
This is Warlord trait.
His Warlord trait is the Invul, or the Feel No Pain. The 6
of Feel No Pain. Okay.
Yeah. Over here, my other HQ for this battalion is a Shadow Seer. And he has just a normal shuriken pistol. I have to pick his psychic powers, so I'll do that later. And then for my troops, I have a 5-man squad of Dire Avengers without any upgrades. They're sort of attacks really in this force because I don't have any other troops. And then up here we have the Guardian Defenders. There's 10 of them, and they have a scatter laser heavy weapon platform. And then my final troop choice is these players over here, troop of players, and I decided to run them as cheap as possible, so they just have Harlequin blades and shuriken pistols. For my elites, I have a Death Jester with his shuriken cannon, or shrieker cannon, sorry. And then for my fast attack, I have 4 Sky Weavers, each with Zephyr Glaives. And I have a 3-man squad of Wind Riders, each with twin shuriken catapults. I have a Fire Prism over here. It has a crystal targeting matrix. It has Spirit Stones, and it has a shuriken cannon upgrade. So it's sort of fully loaded there. We have a Star Weaver for the troop and the Shadow Seer to start in and to ride in. And then finally we have a Wave Serpent, and it has it has the shuriken cannon underneath and a twin shuriken cannon on top, and it has Spirit Stones.
Cool.
And that is my 1400 points.
How's it going, guys? This is my 1400 of Steel Legion. Leading the charge of the battalion, we have Commissar Yarrick. Then second in command, we just have a company commander, just for some order purposes. In the battalion, we'll have 3 troop choices, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, all exactly the same: las cannon and flamer. And then the sergeant just has chainsword and bolter, because you can actually give him a bolter. And then we have a unit of veterans with 3 melta guns. Again, sergeant with chainsword and bolt gun. Lead inside a chimera. Both chimeras are going to be the same also. They have heavy bolter, heavy flamer, and storm bolter. Then we have just a regular commissar in an elite slot for leadership purposes or morale purposes. We got 2 Tarox primes. Both of them are going to have the missile launcher, they're going to have storm bolter, and they're going to have 2 autocannons. So they're going to be pretty decked out. Pretty nasty. And then finally, in the 2 heavy support slots, we got 2 units of heavy weapon squads. We got 3 missile launchers and 3 heavy bolters. And then last but not least is the Outrider detachment, the fast attack one. And leading the Outrider detachment is just another company commander for more order purposes. 3 Scout Sentinels, 2 of them with las cannons and 1 of them with a multi-laser. And then a Hellhound with heavy flamer, its regular cannon, and storm bolter. And my Warlord is going to have also the 6 of Feel No Pain. That's going to be Yarrick. We're playing a Maelstrom of War, Spoils of War. All the objectives are already set up, so there's 3 right here. 1, 2, 3, and there's 1 over there in that corner where the Dire Avengers are, and then there's 2 on my side. And as it currently stands, Ynnari has first turn unless I could seize on a 6. And I will definitely use command point because I have 7 and Ynnari player has 6. No, wow, I got even worse.
Alright, Ynnari turn 1.
Ynnari turn 1 objectives. You drew secure objective 5, defend objective 2, and hold the line, which you cannot get on the first turn. I made that mistake on one of my games. So defend 2 would be right there where those Dire Avengers are, and 5 is all the way on my side over there. Coming around here, let's see. Obviously hold the line he couldn't get, so during the movement phase he moved up. Wave Serpent, along with the Star Weaver, Sky Weavers, Wind Riders, Farseer, everything really moved up except these 2 units on this side. Then during the Psychic phase he cast Twilight Dreams?
Twilight Pathway.
Twilight Pathway. So many weird names. Onto the Sky Weavers. So they moved up an extra 16 inches following their 22-inch auto advance. Well, they moved 22. Oh, they didn't advance. Okay, so
charge.
Right. Oh, duh. And then Wind Riders. Oh no, sorry. The Farseer then cast Doom onto this squad right here. Got it off with an 11, and also cast Smite, but didn't get rolled over 10 or anything. So he just did 1 wound on them. So not too bad. Let's go on to Ynnari's shooting and assault. End of Ynnari turn 1. Shooting. The Sky Weavers that were here shot into these missile launchers, killed a couple, and also the Star Weaver over there also helped out and got it down to 1 guy left with 2 wounds. Those are actually 2 wound models. That's just how the Steel Legion come. Nothing over here was in range. He actually took himself out of range by not shooting that first, so they lived and rolled a 1 on the morale, so they're good. But he got first blood from killing it via split firing. Actually, some of these shuriken cannons shot into this, what's it called? Scout Sentinel with a multi-laser, and the fire prism did 2 wounds to it, so he ended up killing him with the shuriken cannons, and it did not blow up, giving him first blood. And then obviously he charged into Commissar Yarrick. It was a mistake keeping him out like that. I know I'm gonna get yelled at on the internet, but you know, you gotta learn somehow, I guess. I kind of forgot that they can move that fast, so that's definitely something to keep in mind if you play against these guys. They can, with that psychic power, they can really move up the board and be a threat immediately. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, with that being said, I got one of them down to 1 wound in combat, and he got Yarrick down to 1 wound, and of course my company commander, who is actually going to be important because he's going to be able to get people back in the fight, allowing them to still shoot in the, even though they fall back. So I did make 2 invuns on him, otherwise he would have died. And that is that. Let's go on to, well, I will score his objective 5 because he had it and I could steal it. And he will keep both of his other ones?
Yeah, hold the line and defend objective 2. Hopefully
okay.
You won't be able to take objective 2.
We'll see. On to Steel Legion turn 1. Steel Legion turn 1, drew Big Aim Hunter, secure objective 6, and mission critical objective 4, which is basically, in this case, I have to actually steal it from him and get D3 victory points, because he does actually control it. Objective 4 is right there. And 6 is right there. Oh, that's an automatic point for me. And Big Game Hunter is killing this Wave Serpent or that Fire Prism. So eventually that'll happen. I definitely don't think this turn because I have these guys to contend with. So that is my movement phase. To sum it up real quickly, Chimera, Heavy Bolters, Yarrick, and the company commander all got out of combat, so I can shoot these guys. Plan on doing some orders. I got the squad that was in this Chimera out that had Commissar and the other commander, company commander, for more order purposes. And yeah, I think that's everything. I may end up getting 1 more squad out because there are 2 squads in here in these Taroxes. So to get the full benefit of the 4 orders, I may actually get 1 of them more out. But either way, let's go on to shooting and assault phase for Steel Legion turn 1. End of Steel Legion turn 1. As you can see, the Star Weavers are now gone because everything unloaded into them, including... Actually, the Tauroxes didn't need to. I should have started with the Hellhound, because this Flamer just automatically hits, and that -1 to hit really kind of screwed me over a little bit. But either way, they are dead, so that was an important part. And then I took some pot shots into some bikes as well as a Wave Serpent. Well, not pot shots, because that was the Tauroxes shooting. So there were definitely more than pot shots. And in total, I only did 2 wounds to this Wave Serpent. Not so good rolling on my part on there.
I made a lot of saves.
And you also made a lot of saves. And then the Serpent Shield also helped with the damage. But, oh well. I will score Secure Objective 6. And I will definitely dump Mission Critical Objective 4, which is obviously where that Fire Prism is. So that's going to be a bad one for me. And that's my turn. I will score a point, and he will score Defend Objective 2 because those Dire Avengers were there for 2 turns. So it is 3-2 on to Ynnari turn 2. Ynnari turn 2 drew overwhelming firepower, defend objective 3, and had hold the line from last turn. So the objective 3 is over where these Wind Riders are, right on top of this hill. So you just move some of them down to get some of them in Shuriken Cannon fire, Shuriken Catapult fire. Wave Serpent moved down, Farseer moved down, Star Weaver moved a little bit just to get within Shuriken Catapult range of some stuff. Players got out first and moved up just in front of that Hellhound and Chimera. The Death Jester went back to get hold the line because he'll have three units within within his deployment zones. Excuse me. Shadow Seer. No, that's a Spirit Seer, right?
It's a Shadow Seer.
That's a Shadow Seer right there. Okay. I'm so confused. And yeah, that was the movement phase. During the psychic phase, Shadow Seer casted Smite onto that, did 2 wounds. Then casted the one where it made me -1 to hit. So yeah, that went off also. This Farseer casted Smite onto this one, did 3 wounds, and then casted Doom onto the Sentinel because he's trying to get 3 units for overwhelming firepower. That was the movement and psychic phase. Let's go on to the shooting and assault phase for Ynnari turn 2. End of Ynnari turn 2. The troops charged into this Chimera, took 1 casualty in Overwatch, and then charged in and then piled into both the Hellhound and this squad. And I killed 3 of them actually in the assault phase, and he did 2 wounds to this Chimera because that's the only thing he can attack. Then over here he killed the heavy weapons team. This had 2 guys left, or a model with 2 wounds left, I should say, the missile launcher. And then both Sentinels are dead from firepower from all of this, so he could get the D3 for overwhelming firepower. This Fire Prism got one of them down to 1, and then some Shuriken Cannons split firing killed the other, and then more Shuriken Cannons, and this Wave Serpent killed the other one.
Yeah, this one got an exceptionally good roll. They hit with 5, and then rolled 3 6s, a 4, and a 3, so it did a lot of damage.
And I even used the command point to try to keep it alive so he doesn't get D3, but it didn't work out. And then I also used another command point for the reroll on the, what's it called? Hellhound, or no, the Heavy Flamer Overwatch during Overwatch, so I have 2 left. Or 4 left.
I gotta make a morale test, but we're gonna do that on camera since it's kind of a big deal. So 3 guys locking up. I need to get 4 or less.
Yeah.
So I passed the leadership.
Okay.
And then I scored D3 for overwhelming firepower because I killed the heavy weapons and the 2 sentinels. So I get just 1. I'll command point that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great command point usage right there. Alright, so it's 3 points for me.
On to Steel Legion turn 2. Steel Legion turn 2. Drew Advance. Literally the worst one I could have drawn. I had to get everybody out of my deployment zone. That's not happening. And then priorities to orders received. Secure objective 2. I have to get that with my Warlord, which is all the way over there. But the question I have is, not sure. We're gonna look it up, so we'll hopefully find the answer to it. But can I dump that before he can get it? Because it's technically linked to another one. I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll figure it out, but comment down below what you guys believe the right answer to that is. Actually, I don't think there's anywhere in this mission saying you can't actually dump Secure Objective 2. I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
There is? Okay, you can't. But this one is actually priorities orders received. That's why my question is, can I dump this one? And this is just technically attached to that one. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, for movement, I just moved some guardsmen more up front. I realized Commissar Yarrick was kind of in threat range with only one move left. Thankfully, he had to kind of stay back a little bit with this squad, so he didn't get shot up. The heavy bolters, Chimera, and Hellhound all moved out of combat. And then, let's see, this last cannon team, or this last cannon, along with these guardsmen, moved up. And the Meltas got out, got it right in front of the Wave Serpent. Hopefully gonna take it out. We'll see. That is my, the Taurox has stayed still because I need everything I can to fire into him. That is my movement phase. Let's go on to a very important Steel Legion turn 2 shooting phase. And maybe assault, we'll see. End of Steel Legion turn 2. As you can see, the Wave Serpent is dead. 3 melta guns did quite a bit of wounds and got it down to 5 basically. Then some las cannons helped me finish it off along with some heavy bolters. They ran out of combat, and then I did an order to allow them to get back in the fight. The Chimera took some pot shots into the Guardians. It wasn't in range of the heavy flamer. And then along with some las guns and some stormbolters on these Tauroxes, I split fire the stormbolters into the Guardians, and then the missiles. One Taurox went into the fire prism because he was in range. Got 2 wounds on it via autocannon, and then I did 2 wounds to this Starweaver via the autocannons because the missiles didn't do anything. The las guns did a lot of rapid firing into the Wind Riders, and I killed 2 of them. And then, let's see, that was really all that could shoot, but that was a pretty good turn for me as far as killing wise. But he did score another defend objective 3 because I just couldn't kill all this. Maybe I should have targeted him with the Tauroxes with their crazy amount of missiles, but I kind of forgot he had defend objective 3. Either way, that would have been a lot of stuff to kill, and he could have soul bursted in and moved another guy up there. So we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to say what the right move was, but either way, I'm proud of how that turn went. At least he'll score 2 points. I will get Big Game Hunter, and I guess I'll dump priorities orders received, and I'll still have advance, unfortunately. And that's it. On to, was it Ynnari turn 3? Ynnari turn 3, drew Master of the Warp, secure objective 4, and behind enemy lines. All pretty good pulls because objective 4 is right over here where this fire prism is. Behind enemy lines to just get somebody in an deployment zone, so right there. And then, what was the last one again? Master of the Warp. You had to do 1 psychic power, and if you did 3, then you'll get D3, which he easily did because Smite's such bullshit. Smite, he smited this one, got 3. Guided the Guardians, and then smited this Chimera, so got it down to 3, and that was his 3. He tried to also cast the one where it allowed him to move again, but he failed that one. I would have rather have failed to smite, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. That was well, yeah, for movement.
Well, I did fail to smite. I used the command point.
Yeah, you used command point, but it's so easy to get off. This jet bike moved over here just to get behind enemy lines and to be a bully, or to be a threat, I guess. Not really a threat, but more like just to get behind enemy lines. But the point well worth it. Guardians stayed still. Starweaver and Farseer moved over here, and the Shadow Steer moved over there. Jester is gonna run and hide probably, and the Fire Prism and Dire Avengers. Oh, Dire Avengers moved down actually, and the Fire Prism stayed still. And that was that. Let's go on to shooting and assault phase for Ynnari turn 3. End of Ynnari turn 3. This jet bike killed a guy, and they passed morale. Another guy died over here via the shuriken catapults. This Chimera got down to 1 wound via the shuriken cannon. The scatter lasers tried to shoot it off and taking it out, but it didn't, so it's still there. And then I think that was it. Oh no! The fire prism took out this Chimera over here, and it did not blow up. And that was that. He'll get behind enemy lines for that guy, He'll get Master of the War for doing 3, which is D3. 1.
Command point that.
Okay. 2. And he also got security objective 4, which is where the fire person is. And that was his turn. Let's go on to Steel Legion turn 3. Steel Legion turn 3. Drew. Secure objective 2, unfortunately, and overrunning firepower. Objective 2 is over there where those Dire Avengers will likely go and grab it. That's okay, because overrunning firepower is a good one, because I do plan on killing, this guy's almost guarantee. This guy with the Hellhound shouldn't be too difficult, and then this Guardian Squad with a lot of shots here. So everything pretty much moved up and advanced, except this, actually everything, all the infantry squads here. One of the infantry squads got into this Chimera, or this Taurox, sorry, and the Melta squad got into this Taurox, so, and then this one's just left alone. It advanced also. The reason why it advanced is because I know there's an order. I hope I'm not reading it wrong, but it allows me to still shoot even though I advance, so that's what I plan on doing with at least some of the squads. And yeah, that's my movement. Let's go on to shooting phase for Steel Legion turn. End of Steel Legion turn 3. As you can see, this jet bike was the only thing I killed in the shooting phase. So actually, you can't see that yet, but you're about to see that the Guardians didn't die. That was fire from some las guns, some flamers, some heavy flamers, and just all in all, just pretty poor showing of some Steel Legion firepower. Unfortunately, the Hellhound even failed to kill this guy. I forgot he has a 4-up inbound, so I guess that did help him out.
He also has that -1 to wound.
And the -1 to wound really came into play. It was actually all the Stormbolters kind of split firing and actually doing 3 wounds to him in total. Everything else that shot into him didn't really do much, unfortunately. And then, yeah, the Guardians lost 1 in morale. And then I think it was a total of 4 wounds to it? 5? 4 or 5 wounds in total. As
7. So
via the Tauroxes. Which is going to be scary, but it hasn't missed yet, so he's due for a miss. Or at least a fail of a wound. Hopefully. Talking to you, man. And I will score overrun firepower for killing that guy. And I dumped advance because even though I could get it next turn, and I do end up planning on moving up, I gotta hold for some D3 if I have a chance of kind of coming back via objective wise, which I don't think I will because he has so many. But yeah, that's my turn. Let's go into Ynnari turn 4. Ynnari turn 4, Drew, Kingslayer, Assassinate, and Supremacy. He will get Supremacy because Dire Avengers are there, Fire Prism's there, and then the Guardians with 2 guys left moved on that one, so he'll get D3 for that. Assassinate, he just has to kill a character, and Kingslayer is killing Commissar Yarrick. So Farseer just moved within 18 inches over here, and as you can see, during the psychic phase he killed the Chimera, didn't blow up via Smite. Then tried to cast Guide onto the Fire Prism, he failed. And he had to use his last command point over here in order to... He first did the psychic power to allow him to move again. He moved with just out of an inch of that guy, and then smited. He actually failed it and then decided to reroll using his last command point to get it off, and he did 2 wounds to him. That was that. And so we were moved over here just to get some range of probably some guardsmen. We'll see.
I'll probably shoot into that.
Or the Hellhound. Okay.
I measured 24 inches away from that, so that's
I see.
thinking.
Okay, on to shooting Astra. End of Ynnari turn 4. He charged into the company commander. I actually got 2 hits on Overwatch. Rolled 1 wound, but he passed his invuln, and he then killed him, just barely. And then piled into the Taurox, which the Taurox then swung in, got a hit, but didn't wound. But he will get Assassinate for that, and he will obviously get Supremacy already. He killed 4 guardsmen over here, and then he failed to wound on the Hellhound, thankfully, via Fire Prism. And I think that was it. And I passed morale over here. So he'll get D3 for Supremacy. Good. 1.
No more command points.
No more command points, but I think you use your command points pretty well. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for me on any of mine. But that's okay. On to Steel Legion turn 4. Steel Legion turn 4. Drew, secure objective 3. Area denial and assassinate. So So thankfully I will get air denial. I already have nothing within 12 inches of the center of the board. Objective 3 is over here, excuse me, which I will hopefully kill those guardians. And then, what was the last one? Assassinate. Kill either this guy or this farseer. So I moved in advance to the Hellhound, knowing that I have to get on that side to kill that Death Jester that's hiding. I even used a command point just to get a little farther up because I had only advanced 1 inch. Nothing over here moved because I wanted to shoot some stuff. Tarox has moved. This guy moved out of combat, this Tarox. And then Yarrick just moved up. He actually didn't need to advance, so I just moved him up regularly because yeah, there's no real need to advance him. And then that's really it. The Tarox, this one Tarox is going to be the only thing I have against that, except I guess I have a couple last cannons, but we'll see how it goes. Let's go on to shooting phase for Steel Legion turn 4. And Steel Legion turn 4, everything shot, all the bolters just to whittle this squad down. The heavy weapons platform tanked a lot of wounds. And then I killed one finally. I think that was just some bolters and storm bolters from this Tarox that didn't move out of combat. And I charged the Guardian, killed it, and then got that objective. The Tarox did better this turn. I think he did 4 wounds just by himself, and that was just one of them shooting. The Hellhound absolutely failed. He passed all of his saves, and I only got one hit, and I used the command point and still didn't kill anybody. Heavy bolter, or this squad ended up finishing off this guy with first rank, second rank, because they have Voxcaster and they're within 18 inches of him. Heavy bolters were the ones that actually helped out here. And then I did a wound via Stormbolter from this guy, actually. That's where the Stormbolter went. It was actually in here because I could rapid fire. Did 1 wound there. And that was that. I will score Secure Objective 3. D3 for area denial. Sorry if it's a little shaky. I got 2. And I'll get Assassinate. So I got 4 points at least. On to Ynnari turn 5. And of Ynnari turn 5, we did a whole turn recap because there's less on the board now. So he moved over here. He wanted to try to soul burst off of this, killing Yarrick. And he actually lived with everything he could do. He tried smiting, he tried shooting him, he tried assaulting him. Everything he could do to try to kill him. And he actually ended up living because of that 3+ get back in the fight. And even the 6 of Final Pain helped a little bit with some wounds in combat. This squad, I will have to take morale. Forgot about that. I took 2 losses, so I think on a 6 I'll lose a guy, which is not a big deal there. And he'll get objective 1 because he moved over here. That was his card. So, sorry, we didn't show the cards, but he got secure objective 1.
Advance, and you scored secure objective 3.
And I stole his 3, which was right here.
Well, assuming those guys actually pass their leadership.
Well, even if I do, most I'll fail is 1, so I can just take the sergeant off and he's good. Or
no.
Or I guess, yeah.
Right.
Either way, let's see. I think that was that. So he'll score an extra point. He did 2 wounds on the Hellhound. That was from Dire Avengers. Fire Prism was the one that shot the Shrieking Cannon and all that into here. I passed pretty well over here, so pretty good. And that's that. Let's go on to Steel Legion turn 5. And of Steel Legion turn 5 to secure objective 6, 5, and 3. 6 was over here where this Commissar advanced, 5 is right there, and 3 was where this battle happened earlier. So I'll get all 3 of those. During the shooting phase, I killed the Farseer. There's lots of las guns, and this las gun actually up here split fired here, and the las cannons helped me take out the last wound on the Fire Prism. That was along with one of the Taroxes. And then this Tarox shot everything it could into here, didn't do any wounds. And that was that. I think Heavy Bolter shot into the Farseer as well. And that was that. So I will score 3 points that turn. And not that it really matters because I think he has like 18, 17 points. I will have 12. But let's see if the game goes on. On a 3+, it will continue. I need this to continue. It does. Turn 6 for Ynnari. Ynnari turn 6, still at advance from last turn. Secure objective 6, and air denial was what he drew. Air denial he won't get because, well, actually there might be nobody within 6.
No,
Tarox might be within 6 inches. Okay. And secure objective 6 is over where my commissary is. That's true. That's true. I do. And yeah, he won't score anything. All he did was just move and advance this guy, and then shot and did. Well, he almost did a wound. He rolled a 6, but then I saved it with 6 because it was -3, but then it's a 6 up because it's a 3 up. So I passed that, and he just moved his Death Jester to hide him because again, he will win on victory points, but it's going to come down to whether I can table him or not. So let's go on to Steel Legion turn. So, a potential win here for the Steel Legion. We're going to get this on camera because it is big. I ended up killing the Star Weaver via Tauroxes because it did work. I moved them up just to get that objective, but the important thing was over here the Inferno Cannon is in range. It advanced, so that's literally the only thing I could shoot. The Heavy Flamer wasn't in range. I got 5 hit and 5 wound, and they do 2 damage apiece. So if he passes 3 invones, he's not dead because he has 5 wounds.
First one.
That's 2 wounds. That's another one. You have to pass all 3 of them.
Pass all 3 of these.
Oh!
I got tabled.
Damn. That was the only way I could win. Either way, that was a really fun game. But at least it was close, even though objective-wise it wasn't that close. All in all, really fun. Steel Legion actually won a game, for me at least. And the Tauroxes look sweet. Look at them. Those little guys on top. Kudos to Roman for building and painting this guy. Yeah, Steel Legion victory. Thanks for watching, guys.